Next to the stage, I want to bring up Mr. Joel Gomez and Tegza. It's so good to have you here, buddy.
Hi there.
Awesome. Good. Do we want to set you up over here real quick?
Oh, sure.
I'll let
the
you.
mic works. This is really fancy. I've never done something like this.
That's surprising you, because you're a fancy guy, you know?
Okay.
Nothing like real-time tech demos, right? To see, you know.
Yeah, this is all very professional.
We're going to find out, I guess.
I mean, not me. I don't think professional is a good word to describe me.
No?
No. If there's Portuguese people here, this is not my club. This is from my assistant. And one of the reasons I'm late, I'll explain during the presentation. Okay, so this should be the one.
So you should have it in front of you as well.
It's not on the...
Sorry, it's down here for you, and then it'll feed out to the stream.
Oh, nice. This is really professional.
Super
Okay.
pro, right?
Let me just turn this off because this is not necessary right now. Put some technical assistance here.
Sure.
How do I start the presentation? F5?
Sure.
I am. Wait, are you a MacBook guy?
Yeah, but I don't read Portuguese.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would say, like, was it Control F5? Thank you, Adrian.
There you go. Nope. He's doing something else.
Is there a PowerPoint guy in the house?
No, but I speak Portuguese.
Oh.
Is this it?
Hey!
Okay.
All right. Mr. and Tegza, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so I guess I'll start my presentation by saying that this is kind of the best subject I can talk about because I'm not an expert in 3D printing. I do 3D print stuff. Anyway, I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Joel. You can call me Tegza. I have a YouTube channel. A lot of people ask me where Tegza comes from. Actually, it was just a random name generator. I kind of like the word. Yeah, no one can pronounce this word correctly. Never. It is like Tegza, Intigza, Intagaza. It's a weird word anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is my YouTube channel. I created it in 2015, and the actual reason why I created the channel was, this is gonna sound weird, but it's a true story. I saw a video from a guy named Jarek from Veritasium, and he had a video where he explained gyroscopic precession. And I was just out of college, and I thought I could do a better job than him. And I made a video. I'm gonna show you a clip of my first YouTube video. And I'm going to show you just like a couple of seconds because it's so cringy that to this day it kills me inside. So just a little bit. Oh God.
Gyroscopes. What keeps them balanced when they are spinning? Is it gyroscope?
Oh no. Okay. My favorite dish is francesinha. It's a Portuguese dish. It's basically a glorified, over-engineered sandwich. Has sauce, sausage, steak, and the sauce is the secret. If you ever go to Portugal or Braga, which is my city, go to this place called the Belgian Tavern. It's just amazing. John is here, I think, and he knows it is. He once came to visit me. He probably isn't. He's probably drinking beer anyway. One thing you should know about me is that I hate tomatoes. A lot of people ask me, why do I hate tomatoes? Well, I don't know. I think I'm genetically pre-programmed. I don't like it. But I don't want this presentation to be focused on hate. So I'm going to tell you about the thing that I love, which is jet engines, which I think is a great transition for things you shouldn't 3D print. One of them is jet engines. Okay, I started my career on YouTube trying to 3D print jet engines. When I started, I was looking, because I don't know how to do anything. Like, manually speaking, I don't know how to do anything. I was out of college, and the only thing that I know how to do is 3D model. When I learned about 3D printing, I was like, oh, yeah, I can do this. I can 3D model, and then the machine does the rest. So This is the simplest jet engine you can ever build. It's literally a jam jar with a hole in it. And what happens is the combustion pushes the gases out and creates a vacuum. It pushes the combustion back in with more air, and the cycle repeats itself. I'm going to show you some examples. There you go. It's pretty cool. Anyway, how do I stop this? Okay. I think this is the slow motion version, so you can actually see the gases going in and going out. You can see the combustion starting. So everything inside of the jar burns. This creates a vacuum. So it pulls more air and the combustion back in, which ignites the entire thing and keeps it going. And because I'm a fancy guy, I also have a thermal version of it. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because this gets really, really hot. Like hot enough to melt glass, as you're gonna see. So we're at 40 degrees. This is like watching paint dry. Anyway, are you gonna break or not? There you go. Hey. Okay, moving on. I tried to 3D print pulse jet engine. This is a fancier version. This is PLA. So if that melted glass, PLA never stood a chance. But I did it anyway because I'm dumb. I just wanted to show you the engine melting. Oh, there's the bubble. And the hole. And that's basically it. I actually made an entire video about this. And this is the end. This is bad. Okay. Eventually, I got an idea. So my idea was, instead of 3D printing the engine, what I did was, I 3D printed a mold of the engine, and then I wrapped it in carbon fiber. The problem is, normally carbon fiber uses resin as a binder. I couldn't use resin. Resin also burns. So I used fireplace sealant. You know, that is a paste, is a black paste you use to seal your fireplace. The process, I'm going to show it to you, is basically this. Oh, nice music. Yeah, you basically cover it in paste, then you put carbon fiber, and what you get is basically a composite material that can withstand like 3,000 degrees Celsius. It's pretty nice. No, not again. Okay, now I'm going to show you the engine running. Now I can tell you the backstory for this test. It was a Saturday morning. I lived with my family. I had neighbors. This engine is ridiculously loud. Like, it's going to be loud here. It's much louder in person. I had to like decrease the volume a lot. My neighbors called the police. Firstly, because the engine was very loud. Secondly, because of the reaction that I had to it, and you're going to see it right now. Is an art starting a pulse jet engine. To this day, I say this is the happiest day of my life. My girlfriend doesn't like me saying that.
I love it.
That's enough. Okay, then I took the concept and I made a bigger one and I put it on an IKEA chair because I didn't really have space to put it on a car or something like that, so I put it on a chair and it's basically like you're gonna see it. So I wanted to see if it could spin me. It was kind of like a gymnastic here. Nice slow motion, look at that. Yeah. At least the police didn't came this time, so it was nice. Okay. Some years afterwards, I discovered there's such a thing as metal 3D printing. I was very excited. So I started to making friends in the metal 3D printing community. One of them is actually from here, from the Netherlands. It's Bob. He works at K3D, and he actually let me 3D print this model, which is a tiny, tiny pulse jet engine. Because it's very tiny, the geometry doesn't allow me to use like normal gases, like butane. So I had to use hydrogen. So because the frequency of pulsation is so much higher, it doesn't sound like the other one. It sounds like a demon crying out from hell. Yeah, you're gonna see it right now. And because it's hydrogen, it gets really, really hot. I'm saying like, I think it's like 4,000 degrees Celsius.
I've been in love with jet engines.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I kind of got the jet engine thing down, so I got cocky. I was like, what is cooler than jet engines? Well, rocket engines. Okay, rocket engines. That's when I stepped out of my boundaries because I shouldn't. Anyway, I had this idea because for some reason I thought again that I could do combustion with plastic. It doesn't work. It took me a while to figure that out. My idea was basically if I injected the air like sideways, it would create a vortex that would protect the combustion chamber, like a fire tornado, you know? And I still think that idea is kind of cool, but it didn't quite work. You're gonna see why. Why am I speaking Japanese? So, but you can kind of see the idea. So it creates kind of a thin layer of air around the combustion chamber, and it doesn't touch the rest of the engine. And it kind of worked with air. The problem is I decided to test it with pure oxygen. Now, there's a kind of a funny story around this. In the good old days, I didn't have an assistant. I had my sister. And my sister is a scary cat. And the first time I was testing this, it took a while for it to start, and something funny happened, and I'm going to tell you what happened after that. Okay.
Why is nothing happening?
True story, someone in the comments of this video told me some indie movie maker used this as a sound effect for a movie. So my sister is famous now. Yes. Okay, so I had another idea. I have many ideas. Most of them are crap, but oh, actually, oh no, I want to show you the failed version of this. Okay.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, so this is basically a compilation of the failures, which there are a lot of them.
That was a bang.
Oh, you're laughing at me, Tomato, aren't you? Don't worry, I have more rockets. There.
Nope. First time doing the combustion thing. You see, it doesn't work exactly the same as the air.
The tomato is not dead. This little is still alive.
Now we have the petite version, the petite rocket.
As you can see, this is a very professional setup. I literally have like something holding the spark plug, like tape and
Poor tomato. I mean, he deserves it. Hell yeah!
Anyway,
You're gonna die.
I had another idea, which was, there was this company called Porcelite that I found out, and they sold a resin that is basically 90% ceramic and 10% resin. And the process basically involves you 3D printing the part and then sintering the part, basically burning off the resin, and you get a part that is 100% resin, or 100% ceramic, and can withstand the heat that
But in the process,
I'm gonna use it to make a nozzle, basically.
You see the Porcelite bread. If you follow.
Okay, here's the nozzle. And the rest of the engine is still plastic, but the nozzle, which is the part that needs to withstand the heat, is ceramic in this case. And this is what I call a successful test. Oh, I used the fireplace sealant again to seal the nozzle.
Make it airtight. After assembling the rocket and
More glue.
connecting everything, I gave it a go.
You see? It's not burning right away. Not that bad. The tomato is getting toasted at least. That's a nice shot. I haven't seen these videos in a while, so I'm getting nostalgic about this. Okay, just like in the case before, once I discovered metal 3D printing, I kind of actually still have a little bit of the sponsor bit for Onshape here. Okay. I metal 3D printed a rocket, and this one didn't melt and actually worked pretty well. There you go. Look at that beautiful exhaust. Yeah, I got there eventually.
The video.
Okay, so once again I got cocky and I thought, what is cooler than a rocket engine? Well, a detonation engine. Now, this one is going to take a little bit of explaining because jet engine and rocket engine, I think it's pretty like normalized terms. A detonation engine is a very exotic thing. Let me just show you a clip of this so you can see how different it is. Okay, this is a very, very high slow motion shot of it. So let me try to explain this as best as I can. So this is a normal combustion. And this is what, in science terms, you would call a deflagration. So it's a combustion that happens below the speed of sound, right? Okay. Now, when the combustion happens at a velocity that's higher than the speed of sound, we call it a detonation. Now, you might think like C4 or TNT or dynamite is a detonation. It's not. It's actually just a shock wave. To be a detonation, the combustion needs to go with the shock wave. And it's a very rare thing to happen and very hard to achieve. How did we find it? I really love this story. So in the 60s, the US was trying to get to the moon. And they were testing rockets, like in a lot of rockets, right? They had a lot of money. They were pouring it into research. And when I say research, they were just testing stuff out. And part of that research was just blowing a lot of rocket engines up. They didn't know why it was blowing up, though. Okay, I'm gonna show you. This is the F1 engine.
Ignited and the
hey, whoa. Can I?
The engine ignited and the turbo pumps spooled up. The test came to a catastrophic end when the engine exploded. It took several more explosive tests before the engineers finally found what was going wrong.
Okay, so what's going wrong is they were spending millions and millions in these rocket engines and they were blowing up right afterwards, right? So they decided to do like some research, some tests. And basically what they wanted to do is create like this combustion chamber, which was a very long tube, because it's a detonation, it's gonna move at the speed of sound. To analyze it, you need a very big length, right? And they wanted to study the combustion to see what happened, what was causing the instabilities, why the explosion was happening, right? But then they thought, okay, this is not a good idea. Why have a very lengthy tube when you can just make a ring and just make the combustion go around and around and around? It's much more practical. Okay, so they did that and they studied it, right? And what they concluded was that what was happening in the engines is they were trying to do a deflagration engine, but it was basically doing a rotating detonation inside of the engine and blowing it up. Now, this is how they found a detonation engine. At the time, they didn't like it very much because each engine was millions of dollars. It was costing a lot of money. This is a nice shot of a detonation engine burning a tomato. These shots are really good. I didn't record them, by the way. I think there's a point in which the tomato gets blasted away. Come on, you can do it. Is it happening? Let me try to. Almost there. Come on. Oh, wait. Oh, it's already off. Okay. Anyway, how did I get to record a detonation engine? So I annoyed a lot of people. So I sent a lot of emails out. I basically Googled every single research center that was trying to build one. Finally, in Germany, the professor James Bohan decided to let me in. Now, more funny stories about this. This engine is insanely powerful. I'm going to start by demonstrating this. Just the compressed air that goes into the engine is enough to move a person. Like, I couldn't touch the engine even if I tried. That's my assistant. Having the time of his life. Now, this is really, really, really powerful. Like, you can see that when it's tested, so this is like a steel threaded rod that is holding the tomato. It bends the steel rod. It's insane. So at some point, I got there and we were testing the engine, and I talked with the professor, and I asked him if I could be in the room to record the shot, because he said we couldn't do a lot of tests, so I wanted to make sure I got the shot. And he said, you cannot be in the room because just the starting of the engine is going to create a pressure wave of 2 bars that are going to stop your heart. So you need to be outside of the room. And I was thinking to myself, bullshit, you just don't want me in there. So he said, oh, okay, place your camera here, go next to the door to enter the room, and wait for us to start the engine.
Jesus!
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna... Wait a second, can you do it again? No, man.
He said once he had research people there, they started the engine and the doors blew off. So they had to put like emergency doors, the ones that are very bulky, and they are still like coming out. So that's just to demonstrate how powerful this engine is. So at some point I turned to him, and in my videos normally I don't just talk about stuff, I make stuff, right? So I said, can I make one? And he said, no, please. It was like a split second like response. He said, no, don't even think about it. You're gonna kill yourself. It's out of the question. So I spoke with another person because I didn't really like that opinion. And there was a professor in Australia that was also trying to build one, and he said, oh, sure, do it. Yeah. So, and he said, there's this Japanese team, they built like a micro one. You can just build a micro one. It's gonna be safe. And I was like, okay, how do I do it? I'll send you the paper. You need to get hydrogen and oxygen. And I was like, isn't like mixing hydrogen and oxygen very dangerous? They're like, no, you'll be fine. Just do it. I was like, okay. So what I did was I read the Japanese paper like it was like a cookie recipe. I did exactly the same thing they did. And I built this very tiny detonation engine. I love it. Okay, so this is the slow motion. And to this day, Professor James Bohan is going to say that I didn't achieve it. But I know I did because I see the ring in there. You're going to see it. There you go. You see it there? There's the ring of detonation. By the way, the engine only ran for like 10 microseconds. That's still resin, and that's still an acrylic tube, so... Let me proceed. What is this shot? Oh, okay, so normally if you want to start, for example, the engine of a car, you need a spark plug, right? Yeah, you start the combustion like that. To start a detonation engine, you actually need another engine that causes a detonation to start a detonation. I didn't have that. So what I did was I used shotgun shells. They have like this primer, and I put them in the engine. The problem with that is that most of the time, it blows up the engine too. So I ran a lot of tests. Like I destroyed like, I don't want to be exaggerating, but I think it was like 16 engines. But a lot of this happened. So the cap is somewhere in the front. Did I press play? I did. You see that? It kind of starts, but because it breaks the engine, it goes nowhere. Okay, so let me just check. What is this? Is there anything after this? Oh, this is a good one. Okay. I guess, oh Jesus. It's only 8 minutes. Yeah, I speak too fast. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna end this presentation of things you shouldn't 3D print with a thing that I shouldn't show you or tell you about, because the professor really asked me not to show this to anyone. When we were starting to run the tests, so basically, this is a combustion chamber, but it's a ring combustion chamber. So this means that it has a very big tube of steel outside, and then it has a cylindrical core of steel inside, right? It's what we call an aerospike nozzle. They somehow, I think it was the lab assistants, forgot to screw the core in. Yeah, so what happened was you have this massively powered rocket engine, and you have basically a bullet inside of it. And that bullet got projected against the front wall and opened a hole in there. Yeah. The second this happened, the professor turned to me and said, "Don't show this to anyone." So I guess I'm showing this to someone. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. So I actually want to tell you why I was late. One of the reasons why I was late was because when I was testing the detonation engines in my basement, one of them, the pressure wave, kind of damaged my keyboard. And today, I was just finishing a video just before coming here, and I put aside the footage to show you here, but I didn't quite do the presentation. I was planning on doing that this morning. But then I remembered that my keyboard doesn't work. So I had to use the digital keyboard that you use on the screen, and I had to press one letter at a time until I was done. And I'm guessing, wait, is this the time left or the time past? Pooch? Am I alone here? Okay, I guess I'm running this show now. It doesn't matter. I don't have anything else to show you, so unless you have some questions, I think I can do some questions, if you guys have any. Either about the YouTube channel or the project.
I have one.
Yes.
What's the main ingredient in the francesinha sauce?
Come on, we talked about this yesterday. Okay, so they are saying that I'm an hypocrite because my favorite food has tomato on the sauce, which is 10% tomato, if even. I don't feel it. I mean, we're talking about a sauce that is made with whiskey, with wine, beer. You really think you're going to feel the tomato in there? You're not. By the way, I want to tell you, good question. I'm gonna talk about my favorite food. It's actually a pretty good story. So it's called francesinha, which if you translate it from Portuguese to English, it kind of literally means little French girl. I know, it's a weird name. It was created by this Portuguese cook that went on vacation to Paris, and he tried the croque monsieur, which is kind of like a fancy ham sandwich. And he liked it so much that he came home and he wanted to cook it for his wife. And he did it, but he had a Portuguese wife, and she was not impressed. She was like, it's bread, it's ham, I don't really see the appeal on this. So he went mental, and he was like, okay, I'm going to put sausage, I'm going to put cheese and sauce with beer and wine and whiskey and an egg on top. And I think the story tells that she still didn't like it, but I like it a lot. So I guess it's an happy ending for everyone, or at least for me. Any more questions? There you go.
You ever had Men in Black come at your home asking why you're making rockets in your basements?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
At any time you got the Men in Black at your home asking why you're building rockets?
Oh no, actually no. You know why? Because nowadays I don't have neighbors. I mean, I guess I have one neighbor, which is nuns, and the only thing they do is bring me cakes and eggs. So.
Oh, nice.
They're really chill. They don't care about the rocket stuff. Yeah, sure.
Wait, hold on. Let me bring you the mic so the people on the stream can hear too.
In regard to the failure of the detonation engine you just showed, with the professor, did they ever look into the maximum projectile speed it reached, or it could potentially reach?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Could you utilize the detonation engine, with the failure where they failed to screw it into place in the one of the clips you showed?
Sure.
Did they look into it, using it as a cannon, for example? Did they do any further
I know
research?
what you mean. Kind of every single gun on the planet works that way.
I know, but like a continuous cannon, for example, because it has a constant airstream, or would it like at what point did it start to malfunction to the point it didn't create any thrust?
Oh no, the engine works pretty well when you screw the core in.
Yeah, but like, did it raise any curiosities for them to experiment with such projects?
I don't think so. No, you know, the research nowadays they have to be very serious.
Yeah.
And the reason why they allowed a dumb YouTuber in there is because they needed publicity. So they have to be very serious and not just engines and nothing else.
I've got a quick question. How many tomatoes have died at your hand at this point?
Actually, sometimes I go to the grocery store and people start like looking because it's surreal, the amount of tomatoes I bring home.
They just expect you to be beating tomatoes in public?
They don't know it.
No?
They just think I'm a tomato lover. They think, oh, this guy really likes
Actually,
tomatoes.
quite the opposite, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else has a question for... Yeah.
Hello. Yes. Quick question. Is it become? I mean, you're getting from like the first engines to the latest one. Is it becoming exponentially more difficult to replicate, or because of you getting access to some other equipment is getting easier, or how is it your progress, or right now the next project is more difficult to do or to achieve?
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, yeah, that is the case. So it's getting to a point now in which I'm stepping a little bit out of my area of knowledge. So sometimes I really do have to actually learn stuff to try and make it work. Because here's the problem with being a YouTuber that makes projects that need to work. If you reach the end of the video and the project doesn't work, no one cares about the video, right? The ending is the good part. So I need to make it work for the video to have any kind of purpose. I mean, it's fun to see compilations of things blowing up, but you want to see the thing working at the end of the movie, right? It's like if you saw like a romantic movie and at the end of it, they didn't get together. It doesn't really make sense. But yeah, it's getting really hard. So every single project I'm doing right now involves more and more complicated stuff. Like I've been doing a lot of the metal 3D printing, and that implies a lot more like design because the manufacture is complicated. There's a lot of limitations, even though it's very cool. But yeah, that doesn't matter to me because the being hard part is not a bummer for me. I like it interesting. If it's hard, it doesn't matter. So I guess it's a good thing anyway.
All right, we got time for maybe one or two more. Let's see, I'm gonna come back here. How about you, real quick?
Real quick, I haven't seen your channel and I like what you do, but have you ever thought of like completing the process of making an actual physical rocket out of one of these and shooting it up in the air?
So a lot of people ask me that. Even like counterparts, YouTubers that make rockets in the States asked me this before. The thing is, as long as I do things in my basement, right? In Portugal, it works like this. As long as I do things in my basement, no one cares. No one's gonna annoy. But I can't launch a rocket in my basement, right? I would have to go outside to the public space. And there, the police are very much aware of what I'm doing. So I'll keep things in my basement for now. If I ever go to a competition of rockets or something like that, I'll do it. But to be honest, the interesting part of the rockets for me is not like they going up. Is the engine, the actual technology, and the manufacturing processes, and most of all the combustion. So I guess I'm doing what I like right now, and maybe one day I can launch one. It's going to be fun.
All right, let's do one more question here. Did you have one? Yeah, here.
What's after the detonation engine? What's like your next engine you want to print or make?
That's a great question. I don't know. I'm still searching for it. I guess I'm soul searching right now. Most of my ideas for videos or for projects come from me being like an obsessive weirdo. I spend a lot of time on Wikipedia. Do you guys know that game in which they give you a word and then give you another word, and you have to reach that word through the other word by clicking Wikipedia links? I don't know if you ever played that game. It's a really nerdy game. But I'm guessing I have a nerdy crowd. I don't know. This sounds like a nerdy event. So.
Yeah.
But I do that with like kind of things that I like, and most of the times it's engines. So I click this link, I click that link, I click that link, and oh wait, this is new. For example, one of the videos I have is a propellant that is electrically ignited. Now, this might seem like banal because, yeah, sure, like spark plug, you ignite the propellant. No, it's not the same. It's basically, so if you have, for example, gunpowder, right? You have gunpowder, you have a match, you throw it on the gunpowder, it burns, right? It doesn't explode, it burns. A lot of people think gunpowder explodes. It doesn't. What I'm talking about is like a propellant, an explosive. Let's call it an explosive, just to be more general. If you torch it, it won't burn, right? If you throw it against a rock or hit it with a hammer, it won't burn. But if you apply a small voltage to it, it starts burning. It's like a rocket transistor, you know? And it's pretty cool just because, so for example, SpaceX, why do they use liquid rocket engines? Because it's the only way to control the thrust, right? You can't do it with solid propellants, like gunpowder, for example. They don't use gunpowder. It's something more sophisticated, but it's just to make my point. They can't use it for two reasons. So they can control the thrust, and they are building these massive rockets, right? Imagine a building made out of gunpowder. Imagine there's someone working there that decides to smoke a cigarette next to it, right? It's very dangerous. But with this one, this would be perfect, right? Because anyway, they can smoke away. It's just smoke a pack a day, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna burn. And you can control the thrust. So that's one of the ways, like I found out because I was just, okay, let me see what kinds of propellants exist, right? And it was like gunpowder, there was nitrate propellants, there were like a whole bunch of chemical propellants. At the end of the page, there's a link that says electric solid propellants. And for the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, I don't know this. So I click on it, right? It was literally just a paragraph, and it said, there's this company in Nevada that is trying to build electric solid propellants. And I was like, okay, let me find out who this is, right? And I found out, I sent an email to them, and they ignored me for like 6 months. And then they finally replied because one of their interns watched my channel and was like, oh, that guy is a YouTuber, like his videos are cool. I feel weird just saying this. Like, anyway, the guy replied to me and said, oh, sorry, I thought you were a weirdo. I just ignored your email. And I was like, no, I'm a weirdo, but I really would like to visit you and do a video about... And then I went there, and it was a wonderful experience. They explained me everything, which was weird, because I was interviewing the head chemist, and she's probably the only person on the planet that can make that, right? Even like NASA uses the propellant, not for full like big rockets, but for like satellites and stuff like that. She's the only person on the planet that knows how to do it. And I asked her, because I'm cocky like that, I asked her like, can you tell me the process of making the propellant? And she was like, oh, sure. And I was like, hey, that's not the reaction I was expecting. Like, if you're gonna tell me, like I'm gonna know the secret. Oh, and she was like, oh, don't worry. I can show you everything, and you're still not gonna be able to make it. And she did, and I can't. So, yeah.
Fantastic. All right. If you have more questions for Joel, I would very much encourage you to approach. He's very approachable. He's very friendly.
I'm very approachable.
As long as you're not a tomato. I would encourage you to interact with him out here, just like all the rest of our creators. I want to thank you so much for all this. Man,
My pleasure.
Is always a treat watching you work. And I'm pleased to announce we are back on schedule now. So we're going to do our first panel of the day on burnout. I highly recommend hanging out for that. Then we're going to have a special surprise that none of you are going to want to miss. And then we'll break for lunch, do a little networking, and we'll come back after that. So thank you so much. And tags it, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Project Zoom.